Rev up your engine. Here's an interesting one to talk about. It's a Mazda 6, 2014. It has 266,000 miles on it. Now, obviously, it's gone a long way. It's her father's car. She played a lot of soccer, drove her all over the place on the highway. This is mainly highway mileage. And understand, highway mileage is equivalent to maybe 10% city driving. If this Mazda 6 had 266,000 miles of stop-and-go city driving, one, it wouldn't look like this. Two, it'd probably be on its second engine and its third transmission. But if you could find one that's got highway mileage on, now this is a 2014, so it's the early Skyactiv technology that Mazda has. As we go under the hood, we'll throw that over there so we can see what's actually going on. Skyactiv technology thing is a 4-cylinder engine. And it's actually a pretty good system. Doesn't burn oil, still gets decent gas mileage, gets about 28 miles a gallon on the highway, automatic transmission, everything works, AC. Now they did have to replace the backup camera, but they were smart. They went to a junkyard and got a used one and put it in, and it works fine. Now she wants me to check it out to see what kind of shape it's in. We're gonna put our big computer on, but as we sit in, you can see it's nicely set up, black and chrome, got a big old speedometer. You can see the 266,000 miles it's got on it. And it's got a little basic screen. As you can see, there's a lot of room back here. An awful lot of room. These are basically sports sedans. I know, a lot of people, oh, they all want SUVs. Well, she didn't want an SUV. These things are a lot more fun to drive. They still got a reasonable amount of room. So we look inside, and you can see, she's got a bunch of stuff in here. Hey, you can fit a lot of things in here. It's a big trunk. It's a handy car. And her father's a nice guy. He gave her the car. I got a lot of people. The parents sell the car. It's like, what kind of parents are you? Give your kid a car, you know? I gave both of my sons their first cars. Now, mind you, they destroyed both of them in wrecks. But they didn't buy them. I gave them to them. So how's it held up? Well, still got the original engine. It doesn't burn oil. Still got the original transmission. Hey, it's actually been a really good car for them. We'll get inside. The old tools hooked up, and we'll see what kind of shape this baby's in. So we'll do an automatic scan. Going through all these 21 different systems. You can see it's going through it pretty fast. Mazdas make pretty good zoom cars these days. And the even newer ones are even better because they got a bigger relationship going on with Toyota. So they share a lot of Toyota technology. Green good except for one thing, and that is the Smart Start unit. Because, of course, this doesn't have a key. It's got a start-stop button, which I can't stand, but that's how they make cars. Let's read what it says. Read the trouble code. Passive anti-theft transmitter. Now, a lot of times, these transmitters will get codes. If the battery's low, you can change the battery. Or, a lot of times, if the battery itself is low, gets replaced, it'll have that code. Nobody ever gets rid of it. So, we'll back up, and we'll erase the code. And now, we'll go to live data. We'll go to the PCM, and we'll look at live data. And we'll start her up again. And here we go. We'll start analyzing. This car's got 266,000 miles on it. 14 volts, that's fine. Now you can see it's doing pretty good. The equivalence ratio is 1.00, 1.002, 1.00 is perfect, so it's pretty close to perfect. Sometimes this technology even amazes me. Got 266,000 miles, and this thing is almost perfect. 1.001, that's almost perfect. 1.00 is perfect. The trim of long-term fuel, bank 1, sensor 2, it's 0. That's perfect. Now, it's a 4-cylinder engine, so it's only got one bank. And the long-term fuel trim means, how does it adjust? Does it add fuel or subtract fuel in the long term? This is 0.00. It's perfect. It doesn't have to do anything. A car with 266,000 miles on it. And it's not trimming the fuel at all because it's running perfectly. The misfire counts, they're 0 because it's running perfectly. Cam is barely worn. The timing is desiring 24, 23. Now it's changed because it changed at 18. It's almost exactly the same. The desired and the actual. And you know what that means? That means the cam has virtually no wear to it. I did one on a Hyundai Genesis. Now they just call them Genesis. It had 100,000 miles on it. A lot less than this, 266. And it was off 8, 10, 12% on some of the cams. This one is almost exactly the same. So there's very little wear in the cam. Now it's got a tiny backup screen, but it's an older car. You can see good enough. Okay, it's still got a nice ride. Nobody's coming there. Somebody's coming there. We gotta wait for them. And here we go. It still gets up and goes. Hey. You wouldn't think it was a 4-cylinder engine with 266,000 miles that doesn't burn oil, but it is. It still rides decent. And guess what? It's still got the original struts on the thing. Yeah, you get a little bit of a feel on the road, but it does have 266,000 miles, and it still handles perfectly fine. It's still a really fun car to drive around. It gets great gas mileage. It's not particularly making any bizarre noises. Now, I can hear a slight hum of wheel bearings, but you're going to get that in any car with 266,000 miles. They're not worn out yet or anything. I can hear them, but I have mechanics' ears too, so. Then the tires aren't wearing out strange or anything. It's phenomenal how many miles this thing has on it, and it still runs so good. Look at it. It's not shaking at all. This thing is smooth as the day it was made, only it has 266,000 miles on it now. I gotta say, I am impressed by this car. So, now you know all about this 2014 Mazda 6. And I gotta say, I'm definitely impressed. Just realize one thing. A lot of it was highway mileage. He took her to Stocker, all over the place. Proving that highway mileage is so much less wear than city mileage is this car. I mean, you could have blindfolded me that thing with how it rides and how it idles smooth and the gas mileage that it gets. You could have put me in and I'd think it was a car that had maybe 50,000 miles on it or something, not 266,000. That's why, if you can really get the true history of a car, and in this case, her father gave the car, so he had nothing to hide, right? A lot of people will lie and say, oh, it's all highway miles. Don't believe them. Have a mechanic check it out. But if somebody brought me this car, I'd tell them to buy it because it's in excellent shape. Look at the equivalence. It was perfect. 1.000. I mean, that's insane for a car with this kind of mileage. Well made, doesn't burn oil. Now you know about these Mazda 6s. If you're thinking about getting one, maybe get a used one like this one, go ahead. Just make sure you get a guy like me to check it out. Machines like I have that don't lie. Do whatever you want to the paint, shine it up, but you can't hide the electronics from a mechanic. And the electronics tell the true story, and the true story of this is it's still in amazing shape. And she did admit she had to pry it out of her father's hands, so it was hard to get a hold of even from him. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Damien Passor says, why are Land Rovers considered to be so bad? They look nice like the Range Rover. How bad are they? Probably worse than your worst nightmare. Mechanically speaking. You gotta understand one thing about Range Rovers. The Land Rovers originally were a copy of the U.S. Jeeps from World War II. The English copied them. They were little things, four-wheel drive, didn't go that fast. The farmers loved them. Some of those original ones are still running in England. I went to England. I saw some of them still in the fields. They could run forever. But as time went on, they became yuppie vehicles. Then they put American V8 engines from Buicks in them. Had nothing but problems. Now they're luxury cars. Realize the Indians own them. I think it was the Indian Revenge and the British Empire. They own Jaguar Land Rover. It's one company now. It's owned by the Indians, and the Chinese own a portion of it now too. They just have had a history of bad engineering in the last 20, 30 years. You go way back, yeah. They had diesel engines in them. You could take them in a Safari. Had a German guy had 500,000 miles on one. He brought it to me in Houston. He'd bought it in the Netherlands, and then he took it to Saudi Arabia. Strangely enough, the engine broke in Saudi Arabia, so he had a Mercedes diesel engine put in, which was the one he was driving around in when he was in Houston. They were great vehicles, but they've just become yuppie vehicles that they charge way too much money. They charge a fortune to repair them, and they still have a lot of English technology, which isn't all that great, and they break all the time. I've got a thing called awe data. It shows what's wrong with cars, right? That's how I fix cars. If I look at the problems, there will be like hundreds of pages. Look at the Toyota, a couple pages, right? Just hundreds of pages of what's wrong with them. They just aren't made well. Ken Marshall says, Scotty, is the 2019 HRV a car that will be reliable? Well, it should be. The older ones were totally reliable. They make great vehicles. Change your oil regularly. Change the coolant every 4 or 5 years, every 100,000 miles or so. They can be very reliable vehicles. Just realize you do have to do maintenance. Now, if you're talking about buying one, it's a 4-year-old car now because the 2023 models are out. You want to make sure it was maintained by the previous owner. I've even seen Lexuses that were garbage because the previous owners didn't change the oil and the engines were all worn out. So you got to have that stuff checked out. If you're going to buy a used one, have a mechanic like me check it out before you buy it. Then you'll know. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.